You who clicked on this video probably fall into one of four categories. A potential new player wondering if Destiny is their cup of tea, a returning player trying to figure out if now is a good time to hop back in, a current player on their last leg wondering if they should stick it out, or just one of my loyal subscribers that watches all of my videos no matter what, which thanks, by the way, if you fall into that category. No matter which category you fall into, however, I, an 8-year veteran Destiny player, will answer the question from my as unbiased as possible perspective: is the game worth playing in 2023? But 2023 is a pretty long stretch of time, so I think it's appropriate to break this video up into 3 different sections. The first being, is Destiny worth playing right now this very second? The second being, is Destiny worth playing on February 28th when the Lightfall expansion releases? And the third being, is Destiny worth playing after the big hype and honeymoon period of Lightfall falls off? These questions are important to answer, not only to help you determine whether or not this game is worth your very valuable time, but also whether or not it is worth your hard-earned money. So, let's get rolling. Is Destiny worth playing this very second? Well, my answer would be, it depends on who you are. The Season of the Seraph, the newest cycle of content that will remain available and relevant until the end of February, is actually a pretty good season. I won't sugarcoat it, the previous season, Season of Plunder, was pretty awful and led to a lot of people walking away from the game, some temporarily and others more permanent. But the Season of the Seraph seems to shine in a lot of areas where the Season of Plunder, and a lot of previous seasons quite frankly, failed pretty miserably. The story revolving around Rasputin and the Bray family is actually engaging and interesting, or as engaging as a story that is told primarily through standing still and watching holograms talk can be. The actual gameplay of the season is really fantastic, with new heist battlegrounds being somewhat difficult and much more engaging thanks to their intrinsic 5 power level handicap. In addition to that, we have weekly operation missions, the absolute best of which is the Seraph Shield mission that takes you on a pretty crazy space journey to unlock one of the most unique exotic pulse rifles we have ever seen. For brand new players, this is honestly a great time to hop in, as the months leading up to a massive expansion, which we will see at the end of February with Lightfall, is one of the best time periods to learn and understand the game so you can get yourself well acquainted with all of the basic systems before heading on a massive new adventure hand in hand with the rest of the community. Similarly, for returning players who have not played in over a year, it's a great time to hop back in to regain your footing, even if you don't wish to spend money buying Witch Queen or the Seasons, since these DLCs will most likely become heavily discounted come Lightfall. If you are going to buy the Witch Queen DLC, however, I highly urge against purchasing the Deluxe Edition, since most of the content specific to the Deluxe Edition will be removed from the game in February. The base edition of Witch Queen and purchase of the current season only will be all you need to keep yourself happy until the release of Lightfall. As for returning players that have left the game post-Witch Queen due to feeling fatigued with the grindy nature of the seasonal model, now might not be a great time for you to return. Although the Season of the Seraph is most definitely an improvement over past Witch Queen seasons, and arguably the best one of this year, it is still by far and wide more of the same when it comes to that seasonal model you are already well acquainted with. There's a few new seasonal activities, craftable versions of weapons we already own, a new time-gated upgrade grid, and so on and so forth. Now, what about the Lightfall expansion releasing on February 28th of this year? Well, I can confidently say that no matter which aforementioned category you fall into, Destiny 2 will be absolutely worth playing at this time. When it comes to seasonal content in Destiny 2, there is a large spectrum of ratings that you'll see players give when it comes to their personal enjoyment of the content, but you'll have a tough time finding anyone who has anything overwhelmingly negative to say about the big content drops like Beyond Light, Witch Queen, and of course arriving soon, Lightfall. At this stage in Destiny's life cycle, you are pretty much guaranteed to get a multi-difficulty optioned, well-refined campaign experience, a snazzy new destination, brand new subclasses, loads of new missions, weapons, armor, cosmetics, and of course, a brand new raid. For the price tag of $50, even I, who am willing to criticize Bungie for even their smallest missteps, can guarantee that you are getting your money's worth when you buy and play these large expansions. But a big question I am sure tons of folks have is, will a game be worth playing from a time and money perspective after that honeymoon period of Lightfall, approximately 4 to 6 weeks, has worn off? After all, the deluxe edition of Lightfall, which grants access to all of the seasonal content, that is all we have to satisfy our Destiny itch for the 11 months following Lightfall, will have you paying another $50 on top of the base version of Lightfall itself. Is that $50 going to be worth it? My honest answer, since we can't know for sure until it all releases, is I don't know. But here is what I can tell you for certain. Lightfall will ship with Season 20 alongside all of the annual updates. However, Seasons 21, 22, and 23 will be responsible for carrying the Destiny experience solo without any backup from brand new raids and new campaign experiences. Originally, I would have said not to buy the deluxe edition of Lightfall, as I would have expected the seasonal model we experienced throughout Witch Queen to remain in Lightfall. However, the game director of Destiny 2, Joe Blackburn, came out on Twitter on December 7th of last year to note that the teams at Bungie had heard loud and clear that players are not particularly content with the current seasonal backbone model. Despite this, he informed the community that Season 21 is at the halfway mark of development, which means we can make the assumption that Season 20, the season shipping with Lightfall, is already complete. Emphasis on assumption there, since he didn't specifically say that Season 20 is done, but I think it's safe to assume that they wouldn't be halfway done with Season 21 before they finish Season 20. So Season 20 will probably be more of the same when it comes to the run-of-the-mill seasonal model, which is honestly fine considering that we will be distracted by all of the Lightfall content, the new campaign, the new raid, the new destination, and the new subclasses anyway. Season 21, however, is where the seasonal model is all we get, which is where I am pleased to give news that will be music to your ears if you need a little variety. Joe stated that the team was currently looking for ways to differentiate progression in Season 21, which means we can probably assume that Seasons 22 and 23 will have something that feels fresh and unique as well. That being said, I still can't recommend that you do or don't purchase the Deluxe Pass, and therefore all of the seasons right now, because here's the thing. Although it is great news that Bungie is aware of our fatigue with the current seasonal model, there is no guarantee that their next swing at it is going to be a home run. As Destiny lovers, we obviously hope that the renewed seasonal focus will prove monumental, but we just can't know until we get there. If you find yourself in a situation that I didn't cover or just have questions that I didn't touch on, please do leave them in the comments below so I can help out. Please consider subscribing as well if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.